Hello Pokemon fans, welcome back to Waste or Win, the series where we look at my investments from months ago and see if they've made me a fortune or left my wallet collecting dust. Unlike other YouTubers, I will show you everything I invest in, showing every win, every loss along the way, whether it's a waste or a win. In this video, we're going to be looking at the investments I made in the month of November 2024. Did I make the right calls or did I waste my money on cardboard dreams? Stick around because not only will I share you my biggest gains, spoiler, it's 3 PSA 10s which have skyrocketed in value, but I'll also show you the mistakes I made along the way, and there's a big one, a really big one that I made in this video. There's also a card that I thought would be a winner, turned out to be a total waste. So sit back and relax and watch me go for my grail, or miserably fail. Okay, different shirt, different day. Sometimes life just gets in the way. I don't know why I'm doing poetry today. Oh god, I can't stop. That was actually unscripted. So the first investments I made in November were the 3 legendary dogs from Crown Zenith. Let's put these guys on the podium. Now the 3 reasons I chose these cards are because 1, nostalgia. Nostalgia always pays. I mean, everyone's seen Star Wars The Force Awakens, haven't they? 2, the artwork is amazing, and we don't often see 3 legendary Pokemon having 3 full art cards in the same set. So I think that reason alone is enough to buy all 3 as a set. And number 3, the PSA 10 price of these cards just seemed way too good to be true. I picked them all up for less than £100, which I just thought was bonkers. Like, look at the artworks, that they are incredible. I mean, you've got Entei on a volcano. You can't get much cooler than that. Then you've got Suicune, who looks like he's like going through some Dreamworld mountain range. Like, another really cool card. And then you've got the Raikou card, which is my favourite of the 3. I think it's not as like intricate as the other ones. So like you see, they got all the stuff going on in the background in these cards. This one's quite simple, but the color palette itself is really nice. And I feel like Raikou itself just pops out of the card, and I think it's just a really great artwork in general. So enough about the cards themselves. Let's go over to the Pokemon ledger and see if these investments were a waste or a win. So first up on the left here, we've got Entei V. Now Entei V I paid $64.99 for, with free postage and packaging. Its current value is £110, which means that I made a theoretical profit of £45.01, which is a 69.26% growth on my investment. Not too bad. Let's move on to Raikou now on the right hand side. So I paid £84.99 for Raikou, with free postage and packaging. Its current value is £100, which means I made £15.01 theoretical profit, which is a 17.66% increase. Again, not too bad at all. Now let's take a look at Suicune in the middle here. So I paid £75 with £2.70 postage and packaging. Its current value right now, last sold on eBay, is £160, which means I've made a theoretical profit of £82.30. which is 109.33% growth on my investment, which is better than all the banks put together. I mean, you could invest in every single bank and it just wouldn't be as good. So looking back at these cards as an investment, I'd say that was an incredible investment. I couldn't believe that I could get these cards for under £100 for PSA 10. It was about the same time that I realised that Crown Zenith was an absolute banger set, so I'm really glad I picked these up when I did. As you can see, they've absolutely skyrocketed. So across these 3 cards alone, that means I've made a roughly £140-ish profit. Well, theoretical profit, because remember, it's not profit until it's sold. So the conclusion for these 3 cards is that it was a win. So next up on our investment journey is Joltik from Surging Sparks. So I picked this card up on release day of Surging Sparks when I was buying my 2 booster boxes, which if you haven't already, see what I get in my previous videos. I saw it in the counter and I thought that is an incredible artwork. I really like the colours as well. You've got the nice yellows, the cyan blue here, and then like the purples. They really tie in really well together. And at the time I was thinking, that's a really cute card. Surely someone's going to be interested in that. Someone's going to want to buy that in a few months, few years. So really I went into this investment thinking it might be a longer term investment, but kind of hoped it would pay off a little bit in the short term as well. A lot of the cards in the first video I did for this series had a really quick turnaround for seeing some investment growth, and I was kind of hoping this card would be the same. Now let's take a look at the book and see where we're at with this card and if it was a waste or a win. So I bought Joltik for £5. I bought it in store, so it didn't cost me anything to get to me. Its current value is £5. And I'm pretty sure I bought it in a game store, so I probably overpaid for it at the time. and it's probably just caught up with itself. So on Joltik I have broken even. Now I was kind of hoping it would be more nearer like the £7–8 mark, although I think I did overpay for it at the time. So I think I was probably right before. It's probably going to be a longer term investment, this one. I'm not written it off just yet, although again I think the same situation has happened which happened in the first video with the Sunflora. I think I kind of like the look of the card myself. Not necessarily everyone likes the look of these cards though. So I think my interest in the card has probably got the better of me here. My interest in the artwork has definitely got the better of me. So Joltik has flopped and it was a waste. Right now, we'll revisit it in the future, but right now Joltik is a waste. Sorry Joltik. If you're enjoying the transparency of my investment journey, please leave a like on the video. It really helps small content creators like myself. And if you've not watched it already, please go watch my October video and definitely subscribe so you don't miss December's video. I didn't make that many investments in November, but I have a final investment just here, which I'll just grab, which is really heavy because I'm storing all my cards in it. Now, if you've watched the channel before, then you'll know that I bought a Surgeon Sparks ETB in November last year on release day. Now, I had every intention to keep it sealed. This is the biggest mistake I've made that I mentioned in the intro, by the way. I intended to keep it sealed, but I just started my YouTube channel. I wanted something to open, and unfortunately, the Surgeon Sparks ETB drew me in and I opened it. But what makes it worse is that it's not just a Surgeon Sparks ETB. It was a Pokemon Center Surgeon Sparks ETB, which is now, let me just check. Yeah, you're looking at retail £55, and if I'd have kept it sealed and I wanted to sell it now, I could fetch £240 for it. So that's really nice, isn't it? But my stupidness does not stop there. What I did, which was even more stupid, which I'll show you now, is I could have kept the promo card sealed. I could have done that. Alas, I wanted to show it for my YouTube. I really like this card as well. I think the artwork's incredible. But I opened the promo card as well, so I don't even have that sealed. I don't have the ETB sealed. I don't even have a normal one sealed. I got ahead of myself, wanted to open something for YouTube, made a massive mistake. I could have made so much more money on it. Could have made 5 times the amount I paid for it on it. But there is a silver lining. This Magneton looks really clean. I think there's a slight dink at the top there, but that is it, and I think I could get away with it. I think I could, so I think I'm going to send it off for grading. I think I could pull off a decent grade on it. If not, I'll just crack it, send it again. It's £15 in the UK. So yeah, that was my biggest mistake investing in November, is that I opened this box. Nevertheless, even after my stupidity, I don't think this was that bad of an investment. You've all seen the Charmander Obsidian Flames Pokemon Center promo card, and that's absolutely flying. I'm hoping this will do the same. Probably won't do the same effect because Charmander's Charmander, Magneton's Magneton. It's not exactly the most popular Pokemon in the world, is it? But it does have a few things going for it. Obviously, the artwork's incredible. Those of you that have watched my previous video on opening the Surgeon Sparks ETB, I talk about Shinji Kanda and how his artwork is just incredible. And lo and behold, this is one of his cards. And they have gained so much traction right now. You've got the Magikarp, you've got the Giratina V, you've got the one from Prismatic, I think it's the Roaring Moon, which is his, which is another incredible card. So this artist is on fire right now, and it's only a matter of time, I think, before this card will be £100 plus raw. Mark my words, I think it will take 3 to 6 months being over £100. So for that reason, let me get my Pokemon ledger out and I'll tell you how I've calculated this investment. So what I'm going to do to kind of punish myself for being such a stupid tit for opening the ETB in the first place is I'm going to count the Magneton price as £55, which is the retail price of the Pokemon Center ETB itself. Now obviously if you work it out, that £55 doesn't really translate to the price of the card, because obviously you get the 11 packs with the Pokemon Center ETB, you also get 2 of the promo cards as well. So I am literally punishing myself in this series because I made such a stupid error. So that all being said, that means I paid £55 for the Pokemon Center Magneton card. The ETB came in the post from Pokemon Center, so I think it's over 20 quid. It's free postage and packaging. Its current value of this card alone, now my app says it's 50 quid, but I've looked at last sold on eBay in the UK and it is £35. So I'm going to go off that. I'm going to extra punish myself. I'm going to go off the last sold on eBay, which was £35 for this card, which means that I lost £20 in this investment, which is a negative 36% on this investment. So at the minute, this card is a waste, but if you take into account the ETB as a whole, then it's a stupid mega waste. I really messed up here. What a silly tit. After some calculations, I've got the final numbers in my Pokemon ledger here of all of my investments in November. A bit less than October, however, I did spend a lot more on them. As you can see, PSA 10's in view right now. So let's see what I spent in total and see how much theoretical profit or loss I made overall. So my total spent in November was £287.68. My current value of all the things you see here in front of you is £410, meaning I made a theoretical profit of £122.32, which is a 42.5% growth on my initial investment, which is absolutely smashing and deserves a like, in my opinion. I thank you, an expert investor over here. I think it also deserves a subscribe as well. So overall, I would say that November's investments have been a win. If you're new here and you haven't watched the last episode of Waste or Win, go check it out and remember to subscribe so you don't miss December's rendition. And remember, it's not profit until it's sold.